We are all familiar with Father Vildas, the priest assigned to Riverville, and his sermon in the Temple of Malphas.
Beloved children, I am glad to see so many of you have come. It shows me that you have not forgotten that only faith which is practiced is true faith.
One of the many little moments in Enderal that rewards you for exploring and makes you want to know more, whatever we may think of the actual message of his sermon. Father Vildas, however, is only one of the priests of Enderal. Each settlement had an assigned priest, but very few settlements remain intact after the start of the Red Madness. Father Talgin Torental, the only one with two names, is the priest in Ark. Father Ayakamaton is at the Farmer's Coast, although there is no Temple of Malphas there, just a statue. So why is there no temple and no priest in Duneville, the only other surviving settlement? The Shurai Wiki reveals there was a Father Talgin in Duneville. He even had a house somewhere in the Powder Desert, still present in the first version of Enderal because it is referenced as location to find various books. But the house hasn't been cut out, only renamed. It is the old lighthouse we entered during the quest Blood in the Sand, a place indeed with many books. And giant spiders who killed Father Talgin, whose body is still found in a web behind the mystical symbol, only indicated as corpse of the priest. This is unchanged from the Shards of Order. We know it's Father Talgin only because of the previous name of the place. So the renaming essentially erased his presence, and it doesn't make much sense to leave Duneville without his priest. Just as it doesn't make much sense to leave Father Talgin Torental without his sermon. Father Torental takes care of the Temple of Malphas in the barracks quarter. He cleans around, eats and prays to the altar. Then at 6 PM he starts doing this. Clearly, he was meant to address the people with a sermon, but no dialogue is attached. Actually, he has a sermon, not the one indicated by the poster, but he starts reciting the same one as Father Vildas at 7 PM, since all priests share the same voice. However, the animation starting at 6 is connected to a different sermon still present in the game files, untranslated from German. This is the lost sermon of Father Talgin Torental. The pioneers had already set up the first foothold. A small group, consisting of 2 men and a woman, was sent off to explore the still unknown land in the east, where our capital is today. The first man, Jael, was tall and strong, with upper arms like tree trunks. The second man, Meogar, was smaller than Jael, but a gifted archer and very skilled. The woman, Durla, was the most intelligent of the three and knew her way around the wilderness like no other. The mission went well for the first few days. They found a beautiful valley, full of fruit trees and clear rivers. They wanted to come there for one night and then return to the base to tell the others about it. However, when they wanted to leave the valley on the first morning, something unexpected happened. A landslide had blocked the exit. No matter how hard they tried, they were trapped. The only thing left to do was wait until the others found them. Now they had to survive. They succeeded for the first few months. They set up camp, reinforced it with palisades for which Jael had cut down the wood, and several times Meogar even managed to kill a rabbit. But when, after 3 months, no help had arrived, their courage began to crumble. Meogar became more careless, and instead of keeping watch on the palisade tower with his bow and his eagle eyes, Meogar devoted himself more and more to carving, an activity he had found during the hours of waiting. When Durla asked him about it, he just replied caustically, "We are going to die here anyway, and with the carved figures I can at least leave something behind for posterity." He was angry, beloved children, about being forced to complete what he considered a pointless task. Nothing Jael or Durla said could dissuade him from his opinion. And finally, the disaster happened. Meogar, engrossed in his carving, missed the appearance of the rescue group directly in front of the collapsed valley path. When they heard no signal, they left and continued searching. At some point the berries became increasingly scarce and the last fish was caught. The group died after a year of waiting. Their bodies were only found after the founding of Ark. So why am I telling you this, beloved children? It is very simple. We all have a task in this world, given to us by Malphas and the gods, because only they have the gift of choosing our activities so that our people can survive. Had Meogar stayed on his path, on what he was born to do, they would have survived. But he did not. Seized by lonerism, he put his own well-being above the well-being of the many, and died. So never forget, only a people united in spirit can endure the test of time. So this is the story we would have heard from Father Torental, a little tale from the time of the first vassals, and a lesson about Enderalian society. Also the interesting information that the exploration of Enderal by the vassals took at least 1 year, contradicting the inspiring but religiously motivated narration of the path. And to leave you with the last line from Father Torental. That concludes today's sermon, and I wish you a pleasant evening. Walk blessed.